nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. So bad I thought it would die.
This is your host, Maria Duenas with the Entrepreneur Soiree. And today we are super excited to have our beautiful friend, Jessica Castellanos, with us. And she is an amazing and talented makeup artist. And we can't wait for her to share her journey in this competitive industry. So I won't take much more time and I'll let her get right into it. So Jessica, welcome. Welcome. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to see you regardless, even if it's when you're doing my makeup or some of our clients, but it's always a pleasure. And I truly enjoy your company all the time.
Well, likewise. We always have so much fun together.
Yes, we do. We're all like, can you just do my makeup every day and my hair and just make me look beautiful? But yes. But all honesty, she truly is amazing. And I'm just super excited to have her here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. What was Jessica doing prior to, to makeup?
Well,
walk us through that journey.
Well, I was born and raised in LA.
Nice.
I think that's a little bit, that's important.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
I'm an Angelina and I'm a native and this is my home. And I've been lucky enough to be able to work and make a living and career in the place where I grew up. And
exactly.
I love LA.
That's definitely a blessing, right?
Yes. So I went to college and I got my BA in radio, TV, film production.
Got it. Okay.
So I did work in production. After graduating, I worked in production.
Okay.
Simultaneously, I've always been like into acting, voiceovers, things like that. So I went to acting school simultaneously with college, but I graduated there, worked at a production company for about, I want to say over a year.
Okay.
But I always loved makeup also. I just feel like I've always been very more artistic.
Got it.
So working in production, I was like, I liked it, but it was more of an office setting. And I remember when we would help prep all of the commercials, I would see the acting side and I would see the makeup side.
So you got to see both worlds.
And
yes.
Because I was also a part of, being an actor for a while.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I started, I'm just kind of well-rounded in that sense. I can understand an actor, I can understand a producer, I can understand a director, and I can understand a makeup artist. But I basically asked the executive producer at this company in Beverly Hills, actually.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yes, where we are. I said, what do I have to do for you to hire me as a makeup artist? And he's like, well, you do need credibility. So even if you're good, you need to go to school.
Okay.
So go get a diploma, go get
whatever.
Just whatever.
Show us on paper.
So I did. I went to makeup designery in Burbank.
Okay.
And I did their journeyman program. So I did the beauty, I did special effects, and then I took hairstyling and airbrushing.
Which she is amazing at creating special effects. Absolutely. Yes.
Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Yes.
It is a holiday, right?
Yes, I guess. For us it is.
Yes.
But yes, you are truly amazing at that. I just have to highlight that.
Well, my husband loves Halloween too. So he lets me just experiment. I mean, we've done really awesome costumes and it's been fun. It's been really fun to create.
Yeah.
It's a little nerve-wracking still because, a lot of these characters that I do, I've never done before. So it's kind of like, trial and error.
Yes.
Still. And I will say, no matter how many years I've been doing this, I still get nervous because I care.
Of course.
And I'm a perfectionist. So, and I never stop learning. I'm always watching videos and seeing what else I can pick up and just trying to learn more and more and more to better my craft because nothing stays the same.
No, and you have to stay relevant.
Yeah, you have to stay relevant.
Yes.
Mind you, I do like certain trends, but I try to stay in the beauty aspect. I try to stay as classic as possible while introducing some trends.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just because, I like to customize makeup for everybody. I don't like to do the same thing on everybody because it doesn't look right on everybody.
Yes, we can't copy and paste.
Exactly.
But no, absolutely. Okay, and then before I interrupt,
no, that's okay.
Go ahead.
No, so where was I?
You were going to school to get certified so that you can go ahead and
so I
become
did.
this makeup artist.
I was working at the time, but I did night classes. You got to do what you got to do.
Yes.
So I would work. And I would go to school in the evening, get home, do my homework, and do whatever I needed to do, and I got my diploma.
Okay.
From MUD.
Okay, nice.
But it wasn't like, hey, here's my diploma. Can you hire me? The most ironic thing is that executive producer actually never hired me for a job because I ended up leaving.
Okay.
And I started assisting and interning with anybody, working for free.
Of course.
And I luckily was able to. So I went in for an audition. This is what happened.
Okay.
I went in for an audition as an actor.
Okay.
With this director. But I remembered when I left, I'm like, I know this director. I had assisted someone on a job he was directing.
Okay.
So when I walked out of the room and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go back in. Something in my gut just said, go back in and tell him you still do makeup.
Okay.
So, somebody else was already walking in, but I was like, excuse me, hold on one second.
You're all like, wait.
Oh, wait. I went back in and I said, hey, I just, do you remember me? I assisted so-and-so on this job. I just wanted to let you know that I still do makeup. He's like, oh, I do remember you. That's amazing. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
The next day, I get a call. I didn't book the acting job, but he hired me for the makeup.
Okay.
And that was for Mundos Television.
Oh,
Mundos,
okay.
They're a part of like Telemundo, but at the time they had their offices at Universal Studios.
Okay, got it.
And that's where I had auditioned.
Nice.
So from that point on, I was on their roster, and slowly but surely they hired me on the smaller things.
Of course. They're trying to get a feel for you too and
feel
see
for
like,
me.
what is this girl all about? Yeah.
And then, so this director was like, oh, use her. So I started to work on all of their, productions. And eventually, I was with them for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
By the 8th year, I was doing all of their celebrity clients that would walk in.
Nice. So you never, like this other, person you thought you would be working for never gave you the opportunity, but he was crucial in, pushing you to say, hey, if you want to be, working with these celebrities or just doing makeup in general, you got to get educated.
Yes.
Obviously.
It was that little extra push because, I was always the girl that in high school did everybody's makeup and hair. And that
was me too. I always say, like, if I wasn't doing event planning, I'd probably be doing hair and makeup.
Because you're a very artistic person. It's just kind of like, and you get to express yourself. Yes. So yeah, I was the one that was, I would do the hair and makeup and do it on myself. And I felt like I had a knack for it, but I never imagined, I just never thought, oh, I'm going to go to makeup school. I just didn't think. I was always like, I'm going to work in the entertainment industry. I'm either going to be an actor or I'm going to be a producer. But it just worked out. And it's been, the thing that I the least expected has been what I've been doing.
Exactly. And something that you enjoy.
And I do enjoy
this
it.
is what you love, obviously. Yes. No, because I'm sure it could be very stressful. Like you said, it's like you have a blank canvas and you only have one shot to get that person that you're, working on and get them ready for whatever event they have to show up to. Yeah. So definitely.
And people are critical with social media, people always have something to say if they don't like your work or,
they'll make it known.
They will make it known.
They will make it known.
But also because, and we were talking about this a little bit, this industry I feel is a little bit saturated.
Yes.
And I feel like there's always somebody waiting. And if you're not available, then they'll hire somebody else. And if they like them better, then, then you're kind of out of a job.
Exactly. And that's kind of the unfortunate part of all this. But like you said, as long as your reputation is good, the intentions are well, you're, professional, relevant, you're accessible and resourceful at the same time, then people are going to say, well, you need to go with Jessica because she just gets the job done. And like it doesn't matter what event you have to show up to.
Yes. And I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Yes. And that's kind of how I see you all the time. Whenever I send my brides to you or my clients, I'm like, if you want someone just to get the job done, call her.
Oh, thank you.
The only downside is she's booked all the time.
I know, I'm not available all the time.
But I'm happy. I'm happy to see that you're doing so well. excuse me, that you're doing so well. But tell us, so after the 8 years, what happened?
Mundos actually, they up and left to Miami. They moved their studios.
Did they ever say, hey, why don't you come with us?
They did.
No?
They gave everybody the option to move, but I wasn't going to move to Miami.
Of course, because your life is here and the Dodgers are here and she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. My family. For me, though, it's like my family's here. And
of course.
That's
it.
Priceless. That's it. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
No.
Yes, yes.
On vacation, it's fine.
We'll go.
Yeah, I'll go to Miami for a few days, but not to live.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, they left. And then what did I do after? I mean, I was very nervous. See, it's a very nerve-wracking job because when you're a freelancer, that you have months where you don't work, weeks where you don't work, and you're like, what is going on? You know, am I not good? You start questioning your talent. You start doubting yourself, and you're like, what am I going to do? Luckily, and the fact that you mentioned relationships.
Yes.
I did. I made good relationships with people.
Nice.
You have to have good relationships with people. You have to be professional. They have to remember you as somebody that they can rely on.
Yes.
And I think that that's what's helped me in this industry. I think people who I've worked with trust me. Trust is a big thing, especially when you're working with celebrities.
Yes.
You are literally with them in intimate moments. You're alone with
their
them.
Life is happening and you're doing their makeup, hair, and everything. You're working around them. You're literally.
You literally, and you hear things, you see things, and but you have to stay professional, and I'm here to do your makeup. And yes, you develop relationships with them too.
Yeah.
But they have to be able to trust you because you're in their private space.
Of course.
And whether you're a celebrity or non-celebrity,
it doesn't matter. That's just the environment you find yourself in.
Exactly. So, so after Mundos, I believe it was a bit slow, but because I did develop relationships with people, they would call me from their new places to book.
Okay.
And I also started working on, brides and bridal.
Just like your regular type events.
Exactly.
Like your,
a couple of the celebrities, which one that I've been working with for over 10 years.
Yes.
We developed a relationship, and thank goodness I've been with them with her for, oh my gosh, almost over 10 years.
Yes. No. And definitely. And I see that, she brings you everywhere. You travel with her. And it's just, like you said, it's been a beautiful relationship that has developed out of your connections. And absolutely.
But it is a stressful job. I'm not going to lie. There have been moments, even in 2020 with the whole pandemic and everything.
Exactly. I was just going to touch on that.
Yeah. I did. I almost quit doing makeup. I don't know why. I just was going through this thing where I'm like, no, I don't know.
So how did you get out of that? Because I'm sure, and I mean, it happened to me too. Obviously we're in the industry where you're entertainment. I'm also like entertainment per se.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you start questioning yourself. Okay, we have a pandemic. Obviously people aren't having celebrations. Maybe you're not in studio.
Yeah.
No one's showing up to anything but out of their home.
Right.
Like, what happened in your life that you could say, I was going through these moments, but X, Y, and Z helped me get out and just say, like, I'm going to stick through it and I'm just going to stay true to my dream, my passion, and keep going for it?
So, 2020 was hard for everybody. And but right before literally right when the pandemic hit, it was just like a transition, even with my client, like it was just like a transition of teams and energies and everything. So it just wasn't, it felt off.
Got it. Okay.
So I went into this pandemic already kind of feeling off. Yeah, already kind of feeling
you were
off.
like you were mentally preparing yourself for something you didn't know that was coming your way, and much greater.
Yes. And so I started to feel, and I don't know, I just started to feel like, oh my gosh, maybe these people aren't calling me or aren't working with me because they don't think I'm talented. I mean, really, everything goes through your head. But then I'm like talking to myself. Of
course, you're all like, no, Jessica.
What are you?
You
what are you
are
thinking?
a badass, makeup artist.
Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And, you know, even during the pandemic, we actually dressed up for Halloween just to take photos.
Yes.
And we were Herman and Lily Munster. And honestly, that was one of the best special effects makeups I've ever done.
Oh, wow.
And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good at what I do.
This.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, you know what? I just need to get through it. And without getting fully into it, I have suffered from depression and PTSD since 2008.
Okay.
So I do have those bouts, you know, and a lot of times it's because I'm in those little, you know,
dips and valleys.
That you know, I think just naturally I was like, you know,
what you were putting into your head wasn't of substance. That was motivating you to say like, no, Jessica, you're worth more. Yeah, or you're obviously talented.
Yes. And then my husband and my family, I'm so lucky to have an amazing husband who supports me.
Yes, you absolutely do.
And really just is so good at like talking positive and
cheering me on. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's huge.
Yeah. And I think it's normal. It's normal to have, I mean, if everybody was just like happy at all times, I don't know, I would I'd
be concerned. Wrong. Yes. No, and it's absolutely true because I do get a lot of the times, even if it's just not like friends or family or my clients, gosh, Maria, you're always so positive. You're always, and I'm like, no, it's not that, or that your life is so perfect. No, it is not. It's what I choose to focus on, that even though my world may be falling apart, I'm just like, no, Maria, you got to focus. Let's focus on what's going to, you know, give you the outcome that you're looking for, and you're not just going to sit there and dwell on things that you are out of your control.
Yeah. And if I do dwell, because I do,
because I do
it in the comfort of my own home.
Exactly.
You know, when I'm out working with people, and that's another important thing when you are working with people and as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
No matter what's going on in your life, if you're working with someone, you need to get it together.
Yes.
Pull it together.
Collect yourself.
And treat them with respect. And just because you're having a bad day, you do not take it out on them. No bad attitudes.
Yes.
Put a smile on your face. And I think that's why people are like, oh, well, but your life is you're always so happy. It's not that I'm always so happy because God knows you're not, right? Because I'm not. I'm going through a lot.
Exactly.
But I choose not to just wear that on my face and it is exhausting sometimes because when you're feeling sad or when
you want to cry and you're holding it in.
But in a professional setting, I'm not saying don't express yourself with your friends, with your family, express yourself. But when you are working, when you are in a professional setting with clients, it is so important to just make them feel good and not
like they don't have to worry.
Put your worries onto them.
And then you venting with your client, like, oh my gosh, my life is falling apart. Then they'll start getting a little nervous and like, did we hire like the right person to work with? Yes. Especially if they're like celebrities, because they already have their own drama.
Yes.
And they can't, afford to have more, especially if it doesn't belong to them.
I mean, luckily with my client, we're like friends.
Of course.
So we talk about stuff and she'll, we'll cry and laugh and do everything. But that's different. When you get to that point, that's different. But it's
not like that with everyone.
Exactly.
So you just have to still keep that professional posture.
Yes. And deal with what you need to deal with at home. But yes, in 2020, that whole year, I mean, it was just, but I think it was a moment of growth for everybody. I don't want to say the good, but like there is something good that did come out of it, because I feel like people did kind of like wake up a little bit.
Exactly.
And maybe change the road that they were on, or really think about their lives and say, okay, what do I, and that's what I did. I was like, okay, so what do I really want to do then? Do I just give this up? And I was like, no, I've worked so hard.
I was just going to say that, like, for you, I was like, I'm glad you didn't, because it's like you said, it's something you've invested, not only time, money, but like your heart and soul. Yes,
absolutely. And I was like, no, yes, things may be slow,
But it's okay.
But it's
We're
okay.
still here.
We're still here, and it's gonna happen. And honestly, 2021 wasn't the best either, but it started to get,
but it's starting to pick up.
It's starting to pick up. But 2022, I'm like, okay, now I feel like Jessica's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, listen,
Jessica is back.
Hold on. She is, because I'll share something personal with you guys. So I'm actually celebrating both of my boys this weekend, and I always like to go to Jessica first because we have that relationship, and on top because she's just amazing. So she said, you know what, Maria, I'm so sorry. I have like 15 girls that I have to do. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course you would. She's like, I wouldn't be able to make it to you in time. But even though obviously I'm sad, but I'm just so happy when you sent me that message and you said I have like 15 gals that I need to do. I was like, thank you, Lord. Like, I was just happy to hear that, because I know on a personal level, like when you were kind of going like this and having your doubts and not knowing what direction you were going to go. I'm just so happy to know that you stuck it through, and here you are, and you're still doing your thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I do love what I do. And, you know, I don't do so much of the on-camera stuff anymore.
Of course.
I do still audition here and there.
Okay.
I do a lot more voiceover auditions, which has been
I was just going to get into
that.
Okay.
It has been great. So, you know, that's something that on the side that I also, you know, do.
If you have time and it fits within the schedule.
It fits with everything. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? This is good. I'm good right now.
Okay.
I'm good right now.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never just stay stuck in one place. I'm always going to probably be like, oh, well, what can I do? What, you know, but no, I'm good. 2022 has been
amazing so far, right?
Yes.
So what advice would you say, like, and I always say, like, I like to use the advice, it doesn't matter what industry you're going in, but let's just say specifically in the makeup industry, and you have future makeup artists that are trying to get their foot in the door, and because everyone, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't say everyone, but the majority of the people want to eventually get to work with celebrities. And I know you have so much experience in that. And what advice would you give them to say, like, you need to do 1, 2, and 3 before, you know, you can actually get to where you are today?
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. No,
and I still feel like I have a long road to go. Like, I still feel like I still have a lot of things to accomplish.
Okay.
But, I didn't get into this industry to like become famous.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually,
it just happened.
It just so happens that I'm now working with certain people that are well known.
Of course.
But I just feel like you have to be authentic. Just be authentic. If you're there to, because there's a lot of this happens. You'll hire an assistant or someone will come on set, and it's almost like you can tell that they just, you know, here's my card, and like you know,
they're pushing themselves
onto people.
Got it.
That's not a good look. I mean,
Okay.
it's really not a good look.
Okay.
I also feel like there has to be respect among makeup artists. If I bring somebody on and I feel like they're trying to step on, you know, on my toes or anybody's toes, where they're trying to maybe go behind
you,
yes,
or
exactly.
trying to say, like, here's my number, call me, or whatever.
I won't hire them again. And it's just because of trust.
Yeah.
You know, it's trust.
Loyalty too, right? Yes.
Loyalty, absolutely. So I just feel like you need to be authentic. Be a good person.
Okay.
Don't don't ruffle feathers. You know, don't start doing things behind people's back, because people will know. They'll notice.
They'll be able to feel your true intentions.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
They'll feel, and with celebrities especially, they are very private people. And so, you know, if they start feeling like you're there to get something from them, or, you know, they know, you know, and no. So that's, for me, is like the biggest thing. Just be out there and be professional.
Okay.
You know, show up, don't flake, don't have an attitude on set, be flexible. You know, I've worked with a lot of makeup artists that it's like divas. Like, not that diva's a bad thing, because if you're a diva, but diva in the sense that it's like, you know, they don't take criticism well. They'll end up having an attitude if the director or somebody is like, well, we don't like this. It's like, well, I'm the artist and I know best. Yes, you're the artist and you know best,
But maybe not for
maybe
this
not for this. Maybe
particular
take some
project.
criticism or be flexible and say, okay, what is it about this that you don't like? And explain. You know, you can speak well and speak nicely.
So basically, don't take it personal if
Don't
someone
take it
tries to give you
personal.
advice.
Yeah, don't take. Oh, trust me, it's happened. It's happened to me. You know, but yeah, don't take it personal, and you know, just it's good to be able to speak and talk and communicate.
Okay.
With me, I don't take it personal. Yes, I might be hurt on the inside, but I'm like, okay, so what is it that what is your vision? You know,
Okay.
how can we fix this? And then if I do have a professional opinion because of lighting or because of whatever, then I will explain that, but not in like you know, I cannot believe that you're telling me how to do my job.
Of course.
You can't. I just, you know, that
probably just won't set well, and it'll be a reminder, like, let's just not call this person.
let's not call this person because
Yes.
they're just not easy to work with.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying let people, you know, walk all over you.
Of course.
Of course, you have to, you know, people need to respect you as well. But I just think that, you know, you could be an amazing makeup artist, but if you don't know how to work with other people and you don't know how to be part of a team, it's not all about you.
Of course.
You know, you're working with a team. You're working with stylists. You're working with hairdressers. You're working with managers. You're working with assistants. You're working with publicists. You're working with, I mean,
an entire team of
professionals. You know, so you need to be able to work with all of them.
And also, I'm assuming time management, because if you have to do hair, you that do hair and makeup, you know, and we need to be ready in 20 minutes, like I'm assuming you have to be
oh my gosh,
quick on your fingers.
So I just, yes, I've had to, oh my gosh, I've had some moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, you only have like 30 minutes to get like somebody done.
This
and you're
look
like,
or whatever.
But you just do it. And always be prepared.
Okay.
I carry so much stuff and people are like, why do you have so much stuff? I'm like, because I want to be prepared. The minute I take something out of my kit, it's guaranteed that they're going to ask me for it. And I'm going to be like, I just took it out of my kit. Oh my gosh. I'd rather be over prepared.
It'll be that one time you didn't bring it, right?
Time. Yes, always. So I'm like, I just like to be over prepared, you know, than under prepared.
Of course.
You know, that's just me. I mean, not everyone has to do that, but
that's a good piece of advice to give, especially if you're just starting, I'm assuming, because you don't want to be that new girl or guy that comes to the job site and is like, I forgot it. Or I didn't think we were going to need it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, I literally I bring everything just in case. You know, if somebody's like, oh, I need this. Oh, I have it. And can I just tell you, it's happened. So I've been doing this show for HGTV.
Okay.
But it hasn't come out yet. So I don't know if I can talk about it.
I mean, maybe just don't disclose like any names or anything like that. But if it's the experience you're trying to,
well, no, it's called. Well, so it's so no, they already. So it's called The Great Give Back with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, okay.
So I've been working on that for like the last 2.5, 3 months.
Nice.
But on set, it's like, I know Melissa's belt was like coming undone and we couldn't go back to the trailer.
Okay.
I'm not the stylist,
Of
obviously,
course.
and her stylist was super prepared, but the belt kept coming off. And then Melissa's like, oh, if we only had like a brown rubber band, like a brown that we can tie. And I was like, I have a brown rubber band. And they all were like, you do? I'm like, yes, I do. So I took so they tied it. Her stylist tied it, and it looked like a little belt strap.
Okay.
You know, but it was like, oh, and I need this, whatever wipes. Oh, I got you.
I got you.
I mean, I like to be prepared for those because people remember that.
I was just going to say that you probably, and obviously you're still working with them, but you left a great impression just to say like, this is not part of her job. She's definitely not the stylist, but she thought quick. And here you go. You were a solution. You were a solution to their problem in the moment.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by working as a team. It's not like, oh, I can't believe. No, leave that to that person
who's
because it's not my job.
There you go.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you can't
No,
have that mentality.
you have to have people's backs.
Yes.
You know, if I don't have like a makeup wipe and somebody else has some, like, can I have a wipe? You know, you don't want to make people look bad.
No.
You know, because sometimes you will forget, here and there.
I always forget my scissors and I'm like the planner, and I'm like, does anybody have scissors?
Oh my gosh. People, they're always asking me for scissors, and I have my scissors.
I'm the queen of forgetting the
That
scissors.
is so
and I have like
funny.
100 pairs, and I'm not exaggerating. I always think like before maybe I need to go get some scissors, and I just have a collection of scissors now that I don't use, obviously.
Well, listen, I now carry, what do I carry? I carry shout wipes. I carry safety pins.
Okay.
They're always asking me for safety pins. And I'm
Okay.
talking, almost on every job that I do, it's like, does anyone have a safety pin? I'm like, I have 2 boxes of safety pins in my bag.
There you go. Grab them.
I've had to actually put together my client accidentally. The zipper ripped on her skirt, and she had to be on stage at like literally at that moment.
Okay.
I was like, go get me my safety pins. I don't know how I did it, but I safety pinned the entire back of her skirt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've had to play, stylist and tailor, and I'm like, let
bring
me
out
just
your magic wand.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness.
Working as a team and just being prepared and all of that stuff is very important.
And I know one time you and I were having a conversation. I think you were doing my makeup, and you were talking about the union. Talk a little bit about that, because I know that's also probably important for someone, if they're trying to get to a certain level or work with certain people.
Well, see, that's where I'm at now.
Okay, so now you are.
I'm not in the union
you're not
yet.
in the union yet. Okay, got it.
But I've always contemplated, do I want to be part of the union? Do I want to get an agent? All of those things are things that you have to think about.
And then real quick, just elaborate a little bit more about what that union is for those that don't know in your
So there's
industry.
a makeup union, and it changes depending on where you're from.
Okay.
But here it's Union Local 706, I believe.
Okay.
But you have to have a certain amount of, there's like 3 different ways you can get into the union.
Got it.
It's not that easy.
Okay.
It's not that easy, but it's like any union for work. Like you're protected.
Oh, got it. Okay.
With your pay, with how they treat you on set, all of those things. So you have that union backing you up.
So there's definitely benefits.
There
to
is a
being
lot of
part
benefits
of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Me as a freelancer, it's like I'm not backed by that union. So I'm constantly having to, I have to chase my pay. I have to negotiate my rates. Those are all things that you have to think about also, since you asked, advice. So you just have to think about what is it that's going to work for you. For me, it's always worked that I was a freelancer and I set my own schedule, and luckily I've been working.
Okay.
But now I am at that point where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to start a family. I need to be more stable.
I was just going to mention that.
If I have a kid, I can't be traveling all the time and living out of airplanes.
No.
Right. So right now my journey is, okay, how can I get into the union? Let me work towards that. And I am contemplating possibly maybe getting an agent at this point.
Nice.
And what happens with that is a lot of celebrity clientele. Yes, I work with some celebrities, and some of them don't go through an agency.
Okay, I was just going to
But a lot of them do.
Okay.
Most of them, like all the high end, magazines, A-list celebrities, they all go through an agency. And rightfully so, because they have to be able to trust who is going to
screen them before they show
them.
up.
These people already have, they're repped by someone. So they have that working towards them, where it's like, okay, well, we trust this agency that they're going to send someone that's professional.
Okay.
So they go through an agency, and the agency negotiates your rates. They're the ones who handle payroll. They're the ones who
do all the back of the house.
And me, I have to go tonight. I have to work on all my invoices, submit them, make sure that I, follow up.
Because if that one client forgot to send payment or whatever.
Exactly. So I do. I'm my own little business. So
Yeah,
if
you
I
are
don't,
it
I
on
am
wheels.
it.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
get it.
So,
I get it.
So if I don't do that, I don't get paid.
Of
And
course.
yeah, no. But, and it is stressful negotiating your rates because sometimes they're like, well, we don't have a budget for that. And you're like,
Think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
sure you do.
I'm sure you do.
So, but it is that stressful kind of like, oh, and that was part of my thing as to why I was like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore because it wasn't fun anymore.
Got it. It became more of a
It became
job,
more
and
of-
it was like I have to do
Yes.
this now, and it was taking the joy out of that.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what happened. And so when I say something good came out of 2020, as much as I was so almost giving up on this career.
Yes, and I remember
Yes,
you were
because
doing
we were-
my makeup.
Yeah, and I was like, Maria, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. It wasn't fun anymore. And so I think I needed that pause of maybe not doing it,
Got it.
also to miss it, and
Yes.
to say, oh my God, okay, no.
And then to realize.
And then to realize, yeah.
This is what I wanna do.
Exactly. So I think it was that it was like a forced pause in my life where it was like, you need just stop.
Stop. Take a few
Just
moments
stop.
to yourself.
Exactly. And so, yeah. So that's what, yeah, it wasn't fun. But once I got over that,
Okay.
now I'm having fun again.
Okay, good.
And it's still a lot of work because of the
course,
invoices or
because
whatever.
that's just the way it is.
Exactly, that's just the way it is.
But that's why you're contemplating having your
Exactly.
agent now. They would probably do all that for you, and
Yeah.
or the union. So you mentioned you're working your way towards that. So what
yes.
does that mean?
So I believe
What
with the
do you
show that
need?
I'm doing, so you have to have a certain amount of hours that you work. Well, like I said, there's 3 different ways to get into the union. I'm trying to go one particular way, which is like for 3 consecutive years, you have to have like 60 hours you have to work like on a union show.
Got it. Okay.
Even though you're non-union, they can
Okay.
still.
But
it's
the
like
show
a
must
whole
be
thing.
considered union.
Considered union.
Okay.
So you start to accumulate hours, and once you have all of those hours and you do that consecutively for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
then you qualify. And then they're like, okay, you qualify, and then you have to pay,
Your
you have
dues
to
or
pay your
whatever.
dues. You have to pay
Okay.
to get in there.
Uh-huh.
Just like SAG-AFTRA.
Okay.
It's like, you have to get 3 vouchers or work on a union job or get Taft-Hartley.
Okay.
And then you can become part of the union, but you have to pay.
Got it.
You have to
Okay.
pay a fee.
Okay.
And it's
It's pretty hefty,
It's pretty
I'm sure.
hefty. It's pretty hefty. I mean, I'm talking like probably about $8,000.
Oh wow.
For both each.
Oh wow. And is
Yeah.
this something you have to pay yearly to renew?
No, you
or
have
is it
to pay that at
time?
one time, and then every year I think you pay dues. Well,
Okay.
and for SAG-AFTRA you pay dues every quarter,
Okay.
or twice a year, and depending on how much you earn, that's how much you pay.
Got it.
But yeah, you do. It's a one-time fee to get into the union once you're qualified.
Got it.
And then you do, but you pay those dues so that people can
Of
take
course,
care
so
of
that you can then at this point you have a stable,
Yes.
schedule. You have a stable schedule, and you're able to get more done,
Right.
And work.
And you're protected on set. So if anything happens, they're there to fight for you and make sure that you're getting fed, make sure that you're getting
Your breaks or whatever.
make sure all of that stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's where I am. It's easier, I think. Well, now that because I'm trying to start a family,
Of course,
stuff like
and
that.
congratulations,
Thank you.
by the way. I'm
Thank
super
you.
excited. She has 4 fur babies now, but we're working on the real ones.
Yeah, we're working on the
We're
human
working
babies.
On the human babies.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I'm not saying that once you have kids, your life stops. No.
But it changes.
But it changes. And I know that. So I'm like
Yes.
trying to prep beforehand.
Yes.
And, it's just easier to pick up and leave when you don't have
That responsibility.
Yes, I have my 4 fur babies, but my husband
But
can
he
take
can
care
also-
of them.
yes, exactly.
It's different when you have a baby and your mom has to be there
Exactly.
for several
Yes.
reasons.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I think when I started, it was great, and you'll find that you're always going to be, like I said, you're never just going to be stuck. You're in one place. You have to
You're
constantly
evolving.
you're evolving. You have to constantly have to grow your craft, and you also have to kind of go with the flow
Yes.
of your life.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? And so now I'm like, and I think that's another reason. I'm like, it's just coming
just
all
got-
up.
yeah,
In
no,
2020, it's
absolutely.
just like everything just happened in 2020. I'm like, okay, the direction of my life just was changing in general.
Got it.
And so everything was changing, and it was a lot at once. Everything was just a lot at once. But now I'm like, okay, So this is what I think that I want. You know, I'm still contemplating the agent part, but definitely the union, because they get to work on like high budget films.
And that's what you want.
And that's what I want.
You've been doing this for so long, so there has to come a point where you say,
Yes.
okay, I'm done playing small.
Exactly.
I'm ready to go big.
And I feel ready.
I mean, I've known you probably for 8 years now.
Yes.
And we've been like following each other's journey throughout these years, and we've all done this.
Yes.
But I'm just so happy to see that you're at that point where you're like, number one, you're getting ready to start a family,
Yeah.
which is super important. And then you are working now, you're at a level where you can decide.
Yeah. And I feel experienced.
Exactly. Your experience, you've come a long way.
Yes.
And you have all these, you know, good opportunities that have come your way, but now you're ready to just say like, I want to focus on this one particular arena.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
I think that's, yes. That's my goal.
That's the goal.
That's
and
the goal.
I can't wait to see you accomplish everything that you have, you know, planned for the future. I'm just excited for you.
Thank
and
you.
where can our guests find out a little bit more about you on your social media? Do you mind sharing with them?
No, of course not. So I do. My Instagram page is at Jessicat, JESSYYYKATT.
Yes. Every time I type your name, I was like, how many S's does she have?
So I'm very visual. So when I was picking my name, I was like, no, I want it to look nice. So I did 2 S's, 2 Y's, 2 T's.
Yeah.
I almost did 2 K's, but I was like, no, because there's only 1 J and 1 K.
She thought about it all.
Yeah. So 2 S's, 2 Y's, 2 T's, Jessica.
Yes.
And that name just came up because a friend of mine, I used to be a teacher assistant when I was going through college.
Okay.
And one of her students, her name was Jessica, and she had a cat, and she named the cat Jessica. So my friend started calling me Jessica, and then it just stuck.
And it just stuck, and here we are.
Here we are, Jessica.
Yes, with our beautiful friend. I just want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience. It's definitely been a joy to hear it. I mean, I knew part of it, but I still heard stuff that I didn't know. So thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for always supporting me.
Absolutely. I'm her number one cheerleader. I really do send everyone her way.
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
I really do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.